6 a.m. Thursday morning, and it is a very colorful weather radar we're looking at right now, and a lot of moisture making its way through the state. It's rain, it is snow, and in some areas it is a lot of snow. There are plenty of live pictures to show you what we're talking about at 6 a.m. this morning.
Yeah, like this one right here. You know where this is? Evergreen Parkway, and they've got a lot of snow there, and there is still a lot more to come.
Yeah, I think they're going to go brush those cars off there. Down in Castle Pines as well, we're looking at I-25, where you can see there's good definition still on a wet road, but there's plenty of snow being added. And it's a very interesting morning weather-wise in the metro area as far as what areas are seeing rain, what areas are seeing snow. But Chris Tomer's also saying some areas are seeing snow by the foot.
Yes, 3 to 4 feet we're talking about in some areas. Let's get over to Chris now and talk the specifics.
Yeah, Natalie and Tom, and the one thing I've been trying to stress is that the storm is now. It is happening today. It's not overnight tonight. It's not tomorrow. It is now. And we were watching the Beast this morning. They've had thunder snow up here on their drive through the foothills. The foothills are just going to get crushed with this storm system. And here it is. It's happening now. Snow to the west and south of the Denver metro area. We have seen the rain snow line wobble in and out of Denver. Eventually, it will become all snow here in the Denver area a little later today. And we're seeing that. Look at our radar here. Blue is your snow, green is rain, and there's your rain snow line. Look at it wobbling in and out of Denver. It's all snow to the south. It's all snow to the west of us right now. Coming in closer, these pockets of yellow from time to time, that's the more intense. Even some thunder and lightning embedded within a little bit of this. 38 degrees downtown right now, but look how much colder it is. You just go south and west of us. You're looking at low 30s and 20s. Boulder at 36, starting to see that temperature come down. Special warning for Boulder and Fort Collins today, where it could flip and turn into a big-time snow event in both places. Here today in Denver, 44. Heavy rain and snow, all snow above 6,000 feet with big accumulation, Sam, happening today.
Yeah, and this is a look at 6th Avenue in Kipling. That snow is creeping into Lakewood. It's covering Littleton right now, as Chris just showed you. It hasn't really begun to accumulate on the roads. That's not until you get out towards I-70 and C-470. Then from Morrison all the way west up along the I-70 mountain corridor, as well as 285, we've got traction laws in place. We've got a lot of accidents that are starting to pop up, but the colors on this map are showing the green where the rain is, and a lot of that pink and white, the rain and snow mix, as well as the snow line. I-25 and 84th Avenue, a new accident just called out. We've got a couple of accidents down along I-25 near Castle Pines, as well as Castle Rock, and then out on E-470 Parker Road, and then just east of there, 2 accidents reported as well. So we'll keep tracking that drive for you this morning, Tom and Natalie.
Just talking about the Castle Pines area, it is wet down to the south in the form of snow, where Julie Leonardi is standing by this morning. And Julie, it looks like the road itself isn't all that bad yet anyway.
Yeah, I don't think it's the road that's so bad right now, but it's really just the visibility. I mean, you could see, can you even believe it's May right now? Because it looks like we're in a January winter storm at this point. But cars are moving just as they would normally, but I would say take it a little bit easier, because although there's not a lot of accumulation on those roads, you're looking at I-25 north and south right now, still, this is right in the middle of your morning commute. So you really should take it easy. And once you get into the metro area and it turns into more of the rain, that's where we were hydroplaning earlier this morning. But like I said, we are in Castle Pines, and it is just a complete snow globe here. Very low visibility, a complete whiteout. You can barely see that far in the distance. And it looks like from where I'm standing, there's an inch or so of accumulation already. So pretty unbelievable. And of course, it's right at that early morning commute time. So definitely take it easy on the road. Make sure your headlights are on. And of course, our own Jim Hooley, he is in Boulder with a look on the conditions up there. Jim.
Hey, good morning, Julie. We are in kind of a situation where Mother Nature can't make up her mind here in Boulder. Just about 20 minutes ago, it was all rain coming down here, a drenching rain, and now it's starting to change over to snow. Take a look at some of the snow coming out of here. The temperature is sitting right at about 33 degrees here right now, and so that puts us on that snow-rain mix, the snow-rain line. Come on over here with all the rain coming down, though. I want to give you a look at the Boulder Creek. Of course, that's getting some snow melt coming down from the foothills, and the rain today, that has this creek really ripping as we get in here by the Boulder Library. Library, right through the heart of downtown. It's not dangerous as of yet. It's not up to dangerous levels, but of course, if this event continues, we get a lot of rain, a lot of snow up in the foothills, as is predicted. This could be a problem a little bit later on. The road, no snow sticking to the roadways here in Boulder County as of yet. Again, that will change probably throughout the day as it gets a little colder and gets a little heavier in terms of the snow. But right now, pretty much all rain here, a little mix. Mother Nature having a tough time making up her mind at this hour of the morning. So far, of course, the day is long. Live in Boulder, Jim Hooley, Channel 2 News.
It could be very long today. Jim, thank you. Check out these videos coming in from our viewers showing all that the storm has already brought us. This video from Matthew Miller. He caught some serious lightning on tape.
Greg Moore sending us video of some of the hail coming down in Erie. Not big hail chunks, but there was a lot of it.
And this video from Jana Gable House. The heavy rain obviously causing some drainage systems to flood in her area.
Well, we want to see your weather pictures as well. Bill Westbrook from Gilpin County sending us this one as well. If it's safe to do so, snap a photo of the rain, the snow, the hail, and send it to us. You can submit it at KWGN.com or on the Channel 2 Daybreak Facebook page. You can also make sure to download the Pinpoint Weather app with live interactive radar, the temperatures, even a 10-day outlook. Download it in the Google Play or Apple stores and stay ahead of the storm.
Sad story this morning. Soundgarden and Audioslave lead singer Chris Cornell has died. Police are now saying it could be a suicide. Cornell, 52 years old. Soundgarden just started a U.S. tour in April and was slated to play at the Fillmore Auditorium here in Denver on Monday. The Department of Justice has appointed a special prosecutor to oversee the FBI investigation into alleged Russian meddling in the 2016 election.
President Trump, though, still even this morning, just now calling the Russia investigation a witch hunt invented by Democrats. Well, the Department of Justice has now sent a strong message that this investigation is important. They appointed Robert Mueller, who'd been the FBI director for 12 years until 2013. That's when, of course, he was replaced by James Comey. He was appointed by Rod Rosenstein, who's now the Deputy Attorney General.
This is the single most respected figure in American law enforcement. This is someone who really embodies the best of the American criminal justice system, and the chips are going to fall where they may.
Well, before tweeting this morning, the president released a statement yesterday saying a thorough investigation will confirm what we already know. There was no collusion between my campaign and any foreign entity.
I rise today, Mr. Speaker, to call for the impeachment of the President of the United States of America.
Democratic Representative Al Green of Texas, the first member of Congress to officially request leveling charges against the president from the House floor. Impeachment requires the support of a majority of members of the House of Representatives. No Republicans have publicly voiced support for impeaching him. This, as President Trump says, he's been treated very badly as president.
No politician in history, and I say this with great surety, has been treated worse or more unfairly.
That's during a speech at the Coast Guard commencement ceremony. Trump said he was elected to serve the people of America, not the Washington media or special interests.
To Oklahoma, where outrage was growing yesterday after a Tulsa police officer was acquitted in the shooting death of an unarmed black man. The officer, Betty Shelby, was charged in September after the shooting of Terrence Crutcher. Of course, that was all captured on video. Shelby had responded to a call about an abandoned SUV when she saw Crutcher walking towards her. She says he did not obey her commands, and she thought he was reaching into that SUV for something and feared for her life. That's when she shot him. Crutcher's family claiming the Tulsa Police Department is corrupt.
Coming up this morning on Daybreak, we're helping you watch your wallet. Child care costs are going up. So how much will it cost you to put your child in daycare here in Colorado?
And we know cancer treatments are expensive, but it turns out most doctors aren't talking about that. We're going to tell you the average amount of time a doctor will spend informing patients of just how much procedures will cost them. Take a look at that as well on Daybreak.
And right to radar, here it is, rain and snow line kind of wobbling through Denver, but boy, it is all heavy snow to the west and south. The biggest accumulations happen today, not tonight or tomorrow. It is happening now. More on the forecast coming up.
Snow and slick driving conditions, probably the reason for this accident on C-470 near University. We'll talk about that when we come back.
All right, here we are enduring this big snow event here, and Jane King kindly enough tells us it's going to be 93 in New York today.
And she said it just like that.
Going to be 93 in there. Come on, Jane.
Which is a record. It's crazy. This weather is crazy. Yeah, it's my kids are going with their water guns out to the park today, so it's an insane weather. We're looking a little bit lower, so this sell-off not over yet, Tom and Natalie. Not a lot, but the Dow's down about 70 points at the moment. But of course, we had that huge sell-off yesterday, 370 points down in the Dow, the worst day since September, the worst day for the Nasdaq in more than a year. And there's two worrisome new surveys out about the state of Americans' finances. The Federal Reserve says U.S. households owe nearly $13 trillion. That's the most ever. And a Bloomberg New America survey says half of Americans are not prepared for a $100 emergency. Well, how much does it cost for child care in Colorado, the state among the most expensive? The annual state of child care in the U.S. from Congress, this report they do every year, says for newborns, the cost is nearly $15,000 a year. For 4 years and older, it's about $12,000. Now, single moms in Colorado paid almost half of their income for child care for an infant. Live from the NASDAQ market site in Times Square. A very hot Times Square.
Yeah.
Rub it in.
Jeez.
You should come see us.
Yeah. Visit our
skiing.
3 feet of snow in some
really.
areas. Thank you, Jane. We'll see you next hour, unless we
Thanks.
decide not to, because you're not being nice. Hey, look at this weather picture. That's a huge rain shaft. That's from Hawkeye, Iowa. The woman shot the photo, said she was both excited and scared because she wasn't sure exactly what in the world was going on there, because you might visually look at that and think tornado, but that was just a dumping of rain, almost like a sea squall over the Midwest.
Hard to believe sometimes that pictures like that are real. That's beautiful.
It's incredible.
Chris, the turbulent weather we're seeing, all this snow is also manifesting itself in some very unstable weather further to the east.
It is. We've been seeing that. That threat of severe weather in the heartland it's high. It's high because what we're seeing is a temperature contrast, and that's what drives all of this. Back here in Colorado, boy, where it's cold enough, it is going to be a big-time accumulation day here across Colorado. It is happening today. It's happening this evening. It's not going to happen overnight and tomorrow. It is happening now across our area. And with the shift happening overnight into Friday, a lot of the energy will be lost. It'll be moving north of the area. So today's the day, and a special warning out for Boulder and Fort Collins. Boulder could end up with quite a bit of snow out of this. Fort Collins, the wild card, because if things flip, you could end up with quite a bit of snow in the Fort Collins area out of this thing. Here's the storm system. It'll take this hook pattern, and with that kind of a northern track, it'll wrap the heaviest precipitation into northern Colorado back into the Front Range, the northern Front Range foothills and the Continental Divide. So here we are in our Pinpoint Futurecast this morning, just kind of watching the rain snow line move in and out of Denver. It's all snow west and south of us. At noon, right on the line here in Denver, heavy snow west and south, all snow Boulder, I believe, at this point. And look at Fort Collins into the all snow up there. At the 5 o'clock rush, we should be into all snow for the Denver area at that point. Still some rain snow mix up in the Greeley area, Weld County, those lower elevations, but still very heavy snow west and south of the Denver area. And then notice what happens at 9 o'clock. The whole thing starts to shift up to the north. You see the energy up here? It's kind of flowing up towards the northern Front Range into Wyoming at that point. We've kind of lost some of the lift here across the Denver area overnight and tomorrow morning. There's one last little part of the storm to rotate during the day on Friday, and then the thing would start to kind of shift away tomorrow night. So as far as accumulation goes, again, this is happening now and through the day today, a general 1 to 3 through the metro. Obviously more south and west above 6,000 feet, but look at Boulder. could certainly turn into a very heavy snow event there. Fort Collins, boy, just right on the line with this storm. And that 40-inch snowfall I've been talking about up there in the northern Front Range foothills and back towards the high mountains from Estes to Rocky Mountain National to Longs to Red Feather, still on the board up there. And areas like Cold Creek Canyon, a little over 2 feet of snow out of this. Blackhawk, 30 inches, but you can see how the numbers really start to drop off as you work your way down into downtown Denver. And then eventually all this moves away. We'll deal with the sub-freezing temperatures, especially Friday night into Saturday morning, Sam. I think that's going to be the coldest morning at 28.
All right, well, I've just been watching some plows go through this area of I-70 up through Genesee, so they are helping to clear the roadway quite a bit, but it is still snowing out there, and there are traction laws in effect along the I-70 mountain corridor, Morrison West, along 285 from Morrison West as well. Now we've got really slow traffic moving on the eastbound side of C-470 because on the other side of this camera where it rotated from, there's an accident that is blocking the left lane at University. So that's causing some slowdowns for folks trying to travel east across Highlands Ranch. Take a look at all of these other accidents. Fortunately, most of these are on side roads, Broadway and I-25, but we have a couple of accidents on E-470 near Parker, near Gartrell, as well as some accidents reported on I-25 down near Castle Pines, down near Founders, and then a closure of, obviously, because of weather, of the northbound side of 287 just north of Fort Collins, all the way from Highway 14 up to the state line. Obviously, weather affecting the drive this morning, Natalie.
All right, Sam, thank you. Cool new feature will soon have your Android phone camera doing more than just snapping pictures and recording video. Google Lens takes the artificial intelligence capabilities of Google Assistant and puts it into visual searches. With it, you can point your smartphone camera at an object as long as it's Google Lens recognizes it, and it's going to give you more information about that object you're right in front of.
May not surprise you to learn that 1/3 of senior citizens in the United States say they don't use the internet. A new Pew Research Center survey says adults over 65 found that about half of adults over 65 don't have broadband at home. Researchers did find, however, that more seniors, 42% now, do have smartphones compared to just 18% back in 2013. Channel 2, of course, dedicated to your health. And this morning, new research from the Mayo Clinic shows that most doctors don't discuss the cost of cancer treatment with their patients. And if they do, well, that discussion only lasts about 2 minutes.
Several large hospitals and their patients were surveyed. Cancer treatments can cost more than $100,000 a year, and that price is going up. The research found that most patients were not referred to social services to get help in affording their care. Cancer patients are 3 times more likely to declare bankruptcy. Experts say to always bring up the cost, even if your doctor doesn't discuss it. Also coming up this morning on Daybreak, rain and snow moving through Colorado. We're keeping you updated on how the storms are shaping up and what's happening right now.
And we'll take a look at sports next. The rain a problem for the Rockies yesterday up in Minneapolis. We'll tell you about how they'll make that one up coming up.
Track interactive radar, get an hour-by-hour forecast, and see a 10-day outlook anytime, anywhere. Download the Pinpoint Weather app today. It's free for iPhone and Android. Just search KWGN in the App Store or Google Play.
As it snows here, the Rockies are going to have to play 2 today. That's in Minneapolis. This after they got rained out last night. They're going to play the Twins at 11 a.m. Mountain Time and then gather again at Target Field for the regularly scheduled 5 o'clock game. That's the soggy scene last night. The pitching assignments stay the same. German Marquez will start the early game. Tyler Chatwood the night game. This homer actually says the weather there looks better today. Rapids played last night in Chicago. Maybe they'd have been better off with the rain out. They are struggling along this year with the worst record in MLS. They got behind in the 15th minute, 0-0 game. Chicago on the attack. Brandon Vincent with a great cross. Nemanja Nikolic with the goal that made it 1-0. Great goal by Chicago. Then in the second half, the Fire just flat out swarmed Tim Howard. It's him against the world here. They keep giving and going until finally David Ockham finishes, but Howard was left by himself. Where's the defense? Fire go on to beat the Rapids by a 3-0 final. NBA Eastern Finals got started in Boston. David Ortiz turning out to check out LeBron James. LeBron James didn't check out. He was walloping the Celtics yesterday. First, he takes the bounce pass, goes up and under for the bucket. First quarter, well, all LeBron. He set the tone. Here he goes by Jay Crowder. Hits the layup. Cavs led by 11 after the first period. LeBron also took Kelly Olynyk to school one-on-one easily with the lay-in. He had 38. Cavs win at 117-104. The chase for the Stanley Cup. The Eastern Final moves to Ottawa for Game 3, and boy, the Sens got it going right away. 48 seconds in, Mike Hoffman banks it in off Marc-Andre Fleury. Sens take a 1-0 lead, and they kept coming. First period, Marc Methot sends a backhander off the defender, and then off Fleury, and then into the net. All of a sudden, it was 2-0. Pittsburgh was in trouble. Moments later, this time it's Clark MacArthur. Beautiful pass. Derek Brassard hammers it home. 3-0. 30 seconds later, Marc-Andre Fleury's final moment of the night. Zach Smith sends it off the boards and then wraps it around. Sens led 4-0, go on to win it 5-1 and take a 2-1 series lead. Heading for 6:30, plenty to come in the next half hour, including an officer-involved shooting in Littleton. We'll show you how quickly this officer had to make a decision with his life in the balance. Amazing body cam video is coming up when we come back.
And I'm Amanda Zitzman, live on the road in the Pinpoint Weather Beast this morning from I-70 to Golden. We are on the move, tracking this May snowstorm. We'll take another closer look. That's coming up.
If you want to destroy my sweater, hold this thread as I walk away. Watch me unravel.
6:30, it's never good when the radar looks like a complete watercolor. A lot of different colors happening right there. The blue is the part we're really keeping an eye on because that's where the snow is, and that snow rain line has been very active this morning. You might be seeing snow where you are, and some areas are seeing a lot of it this morning.
We are seeing it here downtown, some big flakes, but this, a live look from our Pinpoint Weather Beast traveling along I-70 this morning, and there is a lot of snow on the ground for them.
It's been out in the Golden area for the last few minutes, and you can see snow on the ground there. And with that, I want to let you know that in Denver, what was rain is also turned to snow in some areas, so it's going to be back and forth in Denver through most of the day. Chris Tomer's going to talk about that in just a second. I want to let you know that obviously this is the season for things like state tournaments, the end of the high school year, graduation for many. We do have a note. We're keeping an eye on graduation activities throughout the state. But in Denver, we just got word from Jefferson County that all graduations at this point are scheduled to go on as planned. They're just saying you have to dress for the weather, which I think is most notable in that there are 3 Jeffco schools that will have graduation today at Red Rocks. I know we're having Columbine is set for 9 a.m. this morning, Green Mountain at 2 o'clock at Red Rocks, and Bear Creek set for 7 tonight. So
that early one is going to be messy for sure.
They all might be because it's supposed to be a soaker all day long. Going to be a tough day to graduate, but you'll remember it.
You sure will.
You'll remember your graduation.
It's supposed to be good luck.
Remember, everyone will say,
rains.
"When did you get frostbite?" You go, "When I graduated high school. All I wore was a gown." All right, Chris, let's talk about it. Those poor people are going to have to graduate out at Red Rocks today. I imagine that's going to be tough.
It's going to be snowy. That's the bottom line, because the storm is not happening tomorrow. It is happening now. It is happening today. We're going to pick up the bulk of our accumulation today across the Front Range. You can see it. We've been watching the rain-snow line in Denver wobble in and out of town. Well, it's been all snow west and south of us, and that is going to be the case for the rest of the day, eventually turning over to all snow here in Denver as well. But there it is, that rain-snow line in and out of town. Look at these pockets of deeper we've got yellows and oranges. We've seen some lightning mixed in with this snow, some thunder snow at times, especially up in the foothills. Boy, that is some heavy returns on our radar this morning. It's 39 in Denver right now. It's 36 up in Boulder, 38 Fort Collins. Look how much colder it is as you go south and west with 20s and low 30s. So eventually we will touch 44 in Denver today with heavy rain and snow, all snow above 6,000 feet. And Sam, we are going to see some very big accumulations above that mark.
Watching some big, heavy snowflakes falling along the Boulder Turnpike, the drive just into Boulder here, just before Baseline Road. You can see it doesn't appear as though it's really sticking to the road, but we have been seeing a lot of accidents out there, even where the roadways don't appear to be snowy, but they are creating some issues. So this is C470 out near 285, just before the exit for 285. There is an accident on the westbound side, blocking the left lane. We also have another accident on the westbound side of C470 after Santa Fe on the westbound side, an eastbound side accident right before University as well. So all that whole stretch of the C470 corridor really seeing some impacts for your drive there. Out at the airport, no major delays yet, of course, but definitely check with your airline before you go. But let's check in with Amanda Zitzman, who's out in the Pinpoint Weather Beast, with a look at the roads as well.
Yeah, hey Sam, right now we are over in Golden on Highway 93. I'll show you what the conditions are looking like right now. We have snowfall, some slushy roads, icy in some spots, and it is still coming down right now. We have not gone much over 35 miles an hour at all this morning from I-70 here to Golden. We have Big John behind the wheel for us, handling all the conditions like a pro. You know, now that it's brighter out, it's a bit easier to see, but an hour ago it was very difficult, very dark, and the snow was just pounding the windshield. We also saw a few lightning strikes up in the foothills, and it only gets worse as you head further west into the mountains. So if you are traveling there or really anywhere that looks like what you're seeing right now, give yourself ample time. Certainly use extra caution. Of course, we will be out and about checking on the conditions throughout the morning. So if it looks bad where you are, let us know where you are, and we'll bring the beast to you and check out those conditions as well. But for now, we'll send it back to you guys.
All right, Amanda, thanks very much. One quick traffic note just in from CDOT that eastbound I-70 at Vail at that main exit 176 is now closed because of multiple spinouts up at 180 just in East Vail. So if you're heading eastbound, you're going to be shut down there at I-76. They have no timetable for when that will reopen. Sam will have more on that in just a moment.
Much more planning needed if you're going out. Well, many of us bought flowers and plants to spruce up our yards. A lot of people did that on Mother's Day. But now what do you do with the weather moving in today? Experts say it's crucial to cover the plants, even some trees. An old sheet or products from a gardening store will work just fine, anything that's going to allow the plants to breathe. But experts say be sure to provide support underneath that covering to ensure that the heavy snow isn't going to crush the plants. Experts also recommend some simple pipe maintenance or for your sprinkler systems. Adding insulation around exposed pipes could do the trick, but better yet, draining exposed pipes is the best option. Well, we know that many of you have weekend events planned, from graduations and tournaments. As we've been talking about this morning, we are checking in with schools to see if any closures or cancellations are happening. But so far, they're pretty much just saying prepare for the weather.
Yeah, and we just got word from the Denver Police Department as well that due to the weather today, the memorial ceremony they were going to have today is going to be moved inside to the Artdale Auditorium. Again, that just coming out from Denver Police this morning as far as that memorial ceremony set for today. Of course, you can stay ahead of the storm with the Pinpoint Weather app. You can pick it up at the App Store or via Google Play. Well, we turn now to the man arrested for placing an alleged bomb inside of a private boarding school in El Paso County now says it simply was a prank. Brian Bolding and his son were arrested on Tuesday, and according to the arrest documents, Bolding's son tried to set off a smoke bomb in the cafeteria, but it didn't work. A staffer says they saw Bolding putting the device in the salad bar. Bolding had recently been told he was losing his job there. The father and son apparently also planned to set up some sort of device at graduation, allegedly to cause panic and terror. Bolding has posted bond, but is also facing several charges. Now, much more new information about the local man who was sent back to prison after being accidentally released for some 6 years. It's quite a story. Renee Lima Marine was released from prison again just this week, but then taken into custody by ICE.
Well, Marine was serving a 98-year sentence for armed robbery. He was improperly released back in 2008. The Aurora man spent 6 years a free man with a job, wife, even children. He was rearrested. A judge ordered his release, but as soon as that happened, ICE detained him. Lima Marine came to the U.S. from Cuba as a child. His family now fears that he will be deported.
My biggest fear, to be completely honest, is if this doesn't work and he does have to go, how hard it would be to go with him. That's my biggest fear, because if he goes, that's my plan.
Phone calls and emails to ICE asking about this situation have gone unanswered.
Quite a story from the Littleton Police Department and the Douglas County Sheriff's Office. They have released body cam video from an officer-involved shooting. This is a Douglas County deputy who ended up shooting a man after he got out of a car with an assault rifle. This just happened last Friday near County Line in Santa Fe. Take a look at the video. You can see the deputy, Brad Prue, a 6-year veteran, get out of his car. He thinks to help a vehicle and a man in it. Well, once the man does get out of the driver's side here, they come around the corner. That man suddenly has an assault rifle out. Well, in just a split second, Deputy Prue drops to the ground and is able to fire 2 shots.
Keep 15 shots fired! Keep 15 shots fired! Kill the ground!
When you hear shots fired, and you're out there, it's the worst feeling that you can have. The deputy kept calm, kept the presence of mind, and did everything that he could.
Well, if you see the video play, you realize everything happens in less than a second, it seems like. That image giving you an idea, and this is exactly what happened as it happened. The suspect, 25-year-old Deon Rivas Maestas, was shot once in the arm, released from the hospital, and put right in jail this morning. The deputy is okay.
We are learning more this morning about the 4-year-old boy killed by a family member in Broomfield. Emmanuel Dahl is charged with first-degree murder. Newly released court documents show he is the child's uncle and was only alone with the boy for a short time the morning of April 27th when the child was killed. Now, according to court documents, Dahl's parents picked up their 4-year-old grandson so their daughter could go to nursing school. At home, the boy was on the couch playing on his iPad when his uncle Emmanuel asked the boy to come to the basement. Not long after, the grandmother heard loud noises and yelled to her son, asking what it was. Dahl said it was nothing. Then a few minutes later came upstairs and went out the back door. The grandmother went to the basement and found the 4-year-old dead on the floor. Neighbors tell us that cops were often called to this home.
It always bothered me and bothered my wife a lot about what's really going on over there. So it's not that it's unfamiliar with the cops, they all know.
It's a shock, and it's really, really takes a toll on you, on your heart, and depressing to hear something like that happening.
Dahl is charged with first-degree murder. He's being held in the Broomfield jail without bond.
Police have now issued a summons to an Aurora daycare. Mike Maggard and Tara Bell say their 2-year-old son was spotted running down the street with another 2-year-old a block away from the Rising Stars daycare off Cornell without an adult in sight. Now the state is launching an investigation as to how that happened. The daycare says the boys were only missing for a few minutes after a teacher became distracted while helping other kids. Coming up on Daybreak, we're going to tell you when the new Target on the 16th Street Mall is expected to open.
Plus, an SUV got a little too close to the ocean. Uh-oh, we're going to show you all the work done to try to get it back to dry land.
La 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 la. SUV by the ocean.
I like it.
No?
It's a big hit.
Yeah.
All right, fine. Coming up next, I'll stick to the news of the Young Sheldon spinoff. That's exciting, isn't it?
And radar, we're in it. It is happening today. And the rain-snow line cutting right through Denver. It's all snow south, all snow west. The biggest accumulations happen today. I'll talk more about that forecast coming up.
And this view of I-70 just east of Vail. We do have a closure along I-70 there, and we'll talk about that when we come back.
I've seen better days. I've been a star of this place. I've seen better days. And the bottom drops out. I've seen better days.
Breaking news just into the newsroom. Former Fox News Channel chairman Roger Ailes has died. He just turned 77 this week. Of course, it was a year ago he was forced out of the position as the chairman and CEO of Fox News amid the sexual harassment allegations that seemed to surround the network. He had worked for many years as a media consultant for the likes of Richard Nixon and Ronald Reagan and Rudolph Giuliani. But Roger Ailes, sudden news in this morning that he has died. We'll, of course, try to get more information for you through the morning here on Daybreak.
All right, let's get a look at your weather, our big story of the morning, and all that snow coming down, Chris.
Well, I know, and the worst of it is right now across the Front Range and the foothills. That's where the biggest snow is going to occur. And again, that happens today. It's not tomorrow. It's not even overnight. It all happens today. And then a shift in the storm occurs overnight into Friday. A lot of it will shift north and away. with a special warning I've got for Boulder and Fort Collins. I think it could turn quite snowy in Boulder. And Fort Collins is really a wild card. It could turn quite snowy there as well. Here's our storm system. That's the track. With that kind of a track, it wraps the very heaviest precipitation in the northern Colorado and back into the northern Front Range foothills and Continental Divide, also into southern Wyoming. So it's that emphasis is up into the north. Here is our pinpoint futurecast, and as we move through the day, overall the heaviest snow will be west and south of the metro, but eventually it will turn to all snow in Denver as well. At noon, we're right on the line. Look at this. Fort Collins could be mostly all snow at that point. Boulder could be all snow as well. And that may be the case at the evening rush with most of the Denver metro in an all snow event. Some rain and snow up into the Greeley area and Weld County, but it is still heavy snow, foothills and Palmer Divide. As we head through the rest of the night and into tomorrow, things will eventually settle down. And look at this, a lot of that energy, as I was saying, shifts away from us and up into northern Colorado into Friday morning. So essentially, it is now when this storm is at its height for the Front Range. By noon tomorrow, a little leftover rain and snow with one last little spoke on the wheel coming around and to the south of us. But at that point, we have already received these numbers. And 1 to 3 inches across the metro. Could turn quite snowy in Fort Collins. Same for Boulder. We're looking, I mean, it could go 12, 16 up there in Boulder if it turns over early enough. There's the corridor I talked about yesterday with 36 to 42 inches on the way. Even Coal Creek Canyon is looking at about 2 to 3 feet of snow on the board up there. Down here, because of the rain snow line, that is going to cut down on our accumulation significantly. But as soon as you go west and you go south, those numbers turn into double digits. And then we have to think about the overnight lows. And the coldest morning, Sam, is going to be tomorrow night into Saturday morning at 28 degrees.
Well, I am seeing some plows out there right now along the eastbound side of I-70. You can see they're just moving off screen. We have a safety closure because obviously check out these roadways. They are just snow covered. And we've also had multiple reports of accidents as well as some spinouts. So right now the stretch from Vail down to Copper on that eastbound side of I-70 is closed just for safety and caution. Right now, though, the whole I-70 mountain corridor, you have chain and traction laws from Morrison stretching westbound as well as on 285. Now, C-470 seeing a ton of problems this morning. Accidents on both the westbound and eastbound sides near Morrison, near Santa Fe and Wadsworth, near University. Lots of issues on the E-470 side as well. An accident near Parker and a report of a rollover near Gartrell. And then we have a new accident in the metro area on 270 eastbound at I-25. A lot of issues for folks. You can see the average speeds ranging on C-470 from about 30 to 40 miles an hour right now.
All right, thank you very much, Sam. Right now, definitely wet weather to our south and snow in the Castle Pines area. Julie Leonardi joins us live there with more. Julie?
Good morning, guys. Yeah, well, actually, in the last hour or so, it's kind of let up a little bit, but it's kind of hard to believe that if you can just look at what's behind me. A lot of snow is accumulated here on the ground, a couple inches. Those trees are just totally covered, and you can see traffic slowing down a little bit because, of course, we're right in the middle of that morning commute, but it doesn't really look like the snow's sticking that much to the highway area, and those cars going the other direction are speeding up just a little bit. But the visibility is very low out here, so if you are traveling through this area, definitely take it easy. Make sure your headlights are on, your wipers. Go slow, because when you're approaching that metro area, then you can experience a little bit of hydroplaning, because we sure did coming over here now. But just take it easy at this point because the snow is coming down. And of course, this is very strange for May, but you know, I guess that's Colorado, guys. Back to you.
Take it easy. That's what Keanu Reeves told me yesterday.
He did,
yeah.
huh? Take it easy. Well, new details this morning to tell you about the downtown Denver Target. Target announcing the store at 16th and California is going to open next summer, even perhaps in the spring. It's going to be 28,000 square feet. Target says it'll be a one-stop shop, including all kinds of things, a pharmacy, Target's online order pickup service.
You can get one of those plastic laundry baskets there.
You never know
Yeah,
what
they
you
have
might
all
need.
sorts of stuff. Socks.
Should be a nice boost for the mall area.
Yeah. Target in.
Okay, what to watch this morning? People say Only in Florida. Is
Only
that true?
in Florida.
Is that what you say?
They're old, and what else?
Goofy stuff happens in Florida.
Stuff happens.
This
Like
might
this.
fall into that category.
Head to the bathroom, and you open up the bathroom, the potty there, and there's
Only in Florida.
bright green iguana waiting for you. Well, the women who found that panicked, called 911. They laughed a bit, her family, and they sent fire rescue by instead of sending the iguana toilet team. The iguana was then removed, placed in a box, and then released. They do believe that the lizard may have gotten into the sewer system from a nearby canal, but it's good to know that in Florida, anything in a nearby canal can end up in your bathroom.
Imagine waking up with a bad hangover, opening the toilet, and going, "Wow."
Oh, no.
At least it's not one of those pink elephants.
Pay attention.
What happened to me?
Hey, this is something you can file in the seemed like a good idea at the time category. A New Jersey man wanted to get a cool picture of his SUV down by the beach. So he put it right there. Perfect spot.
Oh, boy.
No.
So it happened on the Jersey Shore. A man drove his Range Rover to surf level, but yeah, as you can see, it got stuck because the tide came in.
I read about these tides. These happen, right?
Every 6 hours, they come in and out.
Yeah, eventually a tow company had to come in and help him out.
Yeah, that thing will be
Hope we
sold.
got a good picture
that
out of
thing
it.
will be restored and sold in Iowa. Oh, nothing's wrong with this car. Wow.
That water was so strong that every time the waves came in, it was smashing the car one way, and then the water was pulling the sand out from underneath of it. And it was just sitting right down on the frame at the end.
Man, it's what it did was like what the ocean does if you park your car next to it. You got a ticket.
Look at this. Lights are on.
No, he didn't get a ticket
No,
because
he
he
didn't.
did have a beach permit. He was allowed to drive down there. He just had to deal with all the laughter.
You don't get tickets for stupidity.
Hey, my buddy King Kong is going back to New York. Now, he's not going to the Empire State Building. He's a few blocks north. This time it's King Kong taking on Broadway.
Wow.
King Kong the musical, initially staged down in Melbourne, is expected to open on Broadway next year. Now, it features that multi-million-dollar puppet. There's Fay Ray. It works in conjunction with the moving stage, other special effects, so we'll see if that's a hit on Broadway. He's done well in New York in the past.
Yeah. Yes. I just wonder what the music's going to sound like.
Oh, the King Kong songs.
Yeah, the King
People
Kong
just go to
songs.
see the puppet.
Chris Parente sings the King Kong song.
he
Does he?
does.
Yeah.
He's over there.
Not
singing it.
good.
Yeah.
Hey, let's go to the celebrity birthday list. We got some music for you there. We start with funny lady Tina Fey. She is celebrating today. Her 47th birthday. Happy birthday to the very funny Tina Fey. Also on the celebrity birthday list, there's a young George Strait. Well, now he's 65 years old today. Still singing. And Reggie Jackson, Mr. October, is 71 years old today. That is your celebrity birthday list. 563 home runs, and after every one of them, he said, "Look at me. How about me?" Hello, I'm Tom Green.
And I'm Lauren Thorne.
Sunshine, go away today. I don't feel.
I'm Tom Green. Thanks for joining us. Of course, the top story this morning. Good morning, 6 o'clock on a Friday morning here on Daybreak. Thanks again for joining us.
Welcome back. Now 8 a.m. on this Friday. Thanks
That's
so much.
the final Friday of June. Thanks for
Oh,
joining
my
us.
goodness.
Tom Green. So do you know what happened to all of Dirty Harry's partners?
What?
Well, in the movie, they all end up dead.
Oh.
So here I,
And yet I'm still here, Tom.
my cavalcade of co-stars. I used to tell people that I believe I had 6 pregnant.
Oh!
Had to get a guy in
You
there.
were saying.
I think I had 6 pregnancies alongside me over the years
You
here.
survived it. You counted?
I think it was 2.
Well, 2 of mine.
2 of yours.
Uh-huh.
Melissa had
Angie
1.
had a
Angie
few.
had at least 2.
Yeah.
And there might have been another
Oh my
couple.
Lord, that promo where we sang a song.
That was the high
They got
point of
you
my
to-
career.
Got you to sing a song. I will say this much about you. You have aged terribly.
Sorry.
Man, you look like you're 10 years old when you started this job. Now look at you.
15 years of getting up this time of day is not
It'll do it to a
not
man.
good for you.
Gray hairs.
All right, we're very tight on time, so let's just cut straight to the chase. The only one guy I love more than Tom Green, and that's Tim Tebow.
You know, he played here.
He did play here, yeah. He was on late night discussing football and baseball and prom. You know, he's got this foundation that he works with. He was too busy to attend prom back in the day, but his foundation puts on the worldwide prom for special needs kids, and one of the students had invited him to escort her.
We invited her mom here today, and she is here, and I am here. And so, Judy Adams, I was wondering if maybe I could have a dance.
That's a yes.
That's a yes. She does. She comes down. They have their dance, gets a corsage. Pretty cool stuff. And very quickly, CBS giving us a first look at their new spin-off of our own Channel 2 hit, The Big Bang Theory. Here's young Sheldon. It's a flashback series based on Sheldon when he was a kid. Here's a little sneak peek. See if you like it.
Look after my son. You're all aware we have a student with us who is remarkably gifted. Yes, Sheldon?
This boy's hair is too long. This boy is wearing sports attire outside of a designated area, and this girl's blouse is diaphanous, which means I can see her brassiere. Also, in violation of the grooming code, you have a bit of a mustache.
Young Sheldon.
I don't know. That clip didn't sell me
That
on
didn't do it for you?
Do it. But the rest of the series might be cool. We'll find out when it airs this fall.
Hey, we're talking about all the rain and snow. There are 3 graduations that are still on.
Oh, good.
outside.
For Red Rocks today.
Red Rocks?
Jefferson County.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, so hang in there. We're going to talk much more about the weather and what it's doing to your schedule when we come back. 7 o'clock hour.